तायश्च पाल आमन्त्रित जनतायश्च पाल प्रजानिरण्ये प्रजानिरण्ये क्षितिपृष्ठ इत्यक्षुत्क्षामदेहापतिमभ्ययोचन् क्षुत्क्षामदेहापति अभ्यवोचन्. Translation. The great sage Maitreya continued, my dear Vidura, at the time King Prithu was enthroned by great sages and Brahmanas and declared to be the protector of the citizens. There was a scarcity of food grains. The citizens actually became skinny due to starvation. Therefore, they came before the king and informed him of their real situation. Purport by doing this is Bhaktan Social Prabhupada ki jai. Information is given herein concerning the selection of the king by the Brahmanas. According to the Varnashram system, the Brahmanas are considered to be the head of the society and therefore to be situated in the topmost social position. The Varnashram Dharma, the institution of 4 Varnas and 4 Ashramas, is very scientifically designed. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Varnashram Dharma is not a man-made institution, but is God-made. In this narration, it is clearly indicated that the Brahmanas used to control the royal power. When an evil king like Vena ruled, the Brahmanas would kill him through their Brahmanical powers and would select a powerful ruler by testing his qualifications. In other words, the Brahmanas, the intelligent men or great sages, would control the monarchical powers. Here we have an indication of how the Brahmanas elected King Prithu to the throne as the protector of citizens. The citizens, being skinny due to hunger, approached the king and informed him that a necessary action should be taken. The structure of Varnashram Dharma was so nice that the Brahmanas would guide the head of the state. Head of state. The head of state would then give protection to the citizens. Kshatriyas would take charge of protecting the people in general. And under the protection of Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas would protect the cows, produce food grains and distribute them. Sudras, the working class, would help the higher 3 classes by manual labor. This is perfect social system. Hare Krishna. Hope everyone is doing well and I neither have any qualification nor do have any realization. Hope you're all doing well and human life is very rare. You know, we do not know what we were before coming into the existence, into the womb of the mother. By the time we come to have an idea what we are, we're already 20 plus. Then what happens is the attachments start. These attachments are so strong, it's so difficult to become free from that actually. Where we enjoy any attachment, His Holiness Radhana Swami says, these attachments are so strong. When it is disconnected, to the extent we enjoy that attachment, that much extent it gives pain actually. So what is the solution? Solution is spiritualize every attachment. So coming by that is spiritual, to the extent we bring Krishna in the center, that much extent, we are safe. To the extent we are not, that much extent we are actually unsafe. I told some devotees, many people, I told them, one time, last year, March, April, I was going to New York. And, the flight actually, it was so much turbulence. And it was blown off by air. Everyone was so scared. I was sad, I can say that. I was preparing for the worst, but I was very sad because I was getting into the zone of unknown, you know. But it has to happen anyway. So thing is, it's when somebody is listening to the lectures, it's very easy to speak volumes quoting verses. So Prabhupada says that what is that? So though we are not the body, we are living in this body. You know, though we are not the body, we are living in this body, and all the faculties they are given only for some time. A person understands this to that extent he becomes serious in bhakti. Honestly speaking, there is only one organization, ISKCON. Srila Prabhupada and the Vartaman gurus. They're impeccable and they're amazingly wonderful. You know, so otherwise, where is the hope, right? So Vedic system is Varnashram system. Vedic culture is Varnashram dharma. You know, Western culture is actually imitates Europe. Western culture imitates Roman culture. But Roman culture, people go to see all the um, debris, all the ruins of Greek and Athens. But such a very highly developed civilization was destroyed just because of two things. You know, illicit relationship, illicit sex, and overeating. So Krishna teaches lessons through Mahabharata. However powerful you may be, if you try go for adharma, you know, then you have to pay, you have to receive the punishment. Nature's laws, we take it for granted, but nature's laws are very strict. Nature's laws are very strict, actually. But unfortunately, we cannot correlate, what suffering is due to what karma. That's the problem. So Vedic culture is Varnashram Dharma. Varnashram Dharma, Kshatriya, Brahmanas, intellectual class, and they have to protect the society using their intelligence. Kshatriyas means they work. Brahmanas work to solve the problem of ignorance. That's why Brahmanas give knowledge and intelligence. And Kshatriyas work to fight with the insufficiency of protection, safety. Kshatriyas protect, they come forward and provide safety and security. Vaishyas fight with the what is that insufficiency of foodstuffs, grains. So that's why Krishi Goraksha Vanidyam. Shudras, they fight with the insufficiency of shortage of manpower. They provide service. So it's very easy. What is your nature, you can find out. What is that you're trying to counteract in your life? You want to equip yourself with knowledge, you'll become a teacher. Anyway, Kalo Shudra Sambhava is there anyway. You know, Kala Shudra Sambhava means most of the people by birth, everyone is a Shudra, of course. So means we want to provide service we want to work under somebody, and there's nothing wrong in that. So, but then Bhakticharya says there are no Kshatriyas in this world anyway. Vaishyas, today world is dominated by Vaishyas, money making. They want to fight with the insufficiency of scarcity of money, scarcity of foodstuffs, scarcity of everything. And most of the people, they want to work under others. They're perfectly right. There's nothing wrong because that's what we are. But there is one thing. Varnashram Charvata Purushana Parpuman Vishnu Aradhyate Pantana Nittatosha Karanam. So Brahmana Kshatriya Vaishya Shudra and Grosthavana Prasthasana, Brahmachari Grosthavana Prasthanyas. This is four Varnas, four Ashramas. But what is the but? Varnashrama Charvata Purushana, okay, wherever, whichever ashram you are and whichever Varna you are, don't worry about it. Everyone is, Kali Yuga means a predominance of Raja and Tamaguna. So add Krishna to your life and add Krishna to your life. Vishnu Aradhyate. Krishna, worship Krishna, that's it. We stay wherever. Sthane is the Ashirgada Tanvan Manobir, ye prayasojita ajitai strilokyam. So Jnane Udapasya Namantaiva Jeevan Mukuritam Bhavadiyamartha. So, 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 so rather than doing speculation, just follow Bhakti Yoga. Stay where you are, add Krishna to your life, and you go forward. That is a biggest achievement in this world. You know, until we came to Krishna consciousness, nobody told us we are not this body. Nobody told us we are stuck in the cycle of birth and death. We are leading our life. Ignorance is bliss. So, but um, um, so that should be the goal of life. You know, that is the of course the what is that? They all chose Brahmanas chose Maharaj Prutu, the Shakti Vishavatar, and all the citizens complained. Today nobody takes care of citizens. If you make money, you have to pay tax. You know. So, but Prithu Maharaj, the ancient system was very wonderful. So, apart from that, I don't have anything for the today's thing. But what I wanted, I was reading actually Uddhav Gita. Uddhav Gita, uh, what is that? Uddhav Gita, Krishna speaks to Uddhava, the Uddhav Gita. And um, there in Uddhav Gita, Krishna tells this story, one day Maharaj Yadu, um, one day Maharaj Yadu, he came across a Brahmana, Avadut Brahmana, you know. So there are two instances, Where is another? Can anyone recollect? One more person meets the Avadut Brahmana. Can anyone guess?
Prahlad Maharaj, Prabhuji.
Prahlad Maharaj, very good, Amma. Amazing. Prahlad Maharaj meets Avadut Brahmana. You know, I want to tell you something interesting. They are the same person. That Avadut Brahmana and uh, that Avadut Brahmana and this Avadut Brahmana is same. Interesting. You know, anybody is interested, to know, I can tell the name also. You know, anybody is interested to know who it is?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Dattatreya. Sage Dattatreya. Maharaj Yadu said to this person, "Hey, you look so young." And usually people want to, you know, somehow sustain the prolonged life and try to acquire name and fame, and they want to live long and enjoy this world. You look so young and so beautiful, but still you're roaming in the forest you're roaming in the forest as a wanderer, and you look very, accomplished, self-realized, you know. So how is that possible at such an young age? You know? So, and what is that? I can see you're becoming ecstatic. Wow, amazing. And you're alone. There is no family member at all. You know? Please tell me, what is the cause of your great ecstasy? You know? Uh, what is the cause of great ecstasy? Then, you know, the Brahman, Avadut Brahman, he said, "Oh, king, with my intelligence, I have taken shelter of many spiritual masters. And from these spiritual masters, I have gained a transcendental understanding. And, you know, that's why having Guru is important. Second thing is taking their instructions very deeply is important. More than anything, when you take deeply, you should understand. Second thing, when you understand, you should have inner strength to apply. But unless I'm talking to myself, really, unless you are very strong from within, you cannot apply them. This is a sad realization I have had after this many years. When you cannot apply, mind will immediately forget that. Mind will immediately forget. We'll give you some lame excuse and you'll go to the next one. Whatever you cannot apply, you'll ignore. But anyway, I'm trying, right? But honestly speaking, trust me, we should try, but having full faith on Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. We have somebody, Nityananda Prabhu, Srila Prabhupada, a spiritual master, and go forward. That's it. But a sincere, sincere, serious, and knowledgeable ones. Then we will attain the perfection of life in this life. So in this Avadut Brahman is telling, I have taken shelter of 24 gurus and I learned from them. Hare Krishna. He said, actually one time I did a seminar on this few years ago. And I mean, this Avadut Brahman, actually now just by telling his name, I broke the suspense, but yeah, who are the gurus he has taken shelter? Earth, air, sky, water, fire, moon, sun, pigeon, python, sea, moth, honeybee, elephant, and honey thief, honeybee, deer, fish, prostitute, pingala, kurara bird, child, young girl, armaker, serpent, spider, and wasp. So, and no, I don't. We don't have so much time. I mean, whatever time I can, first one is earth. He says, from earth, I've learned patience. So, when somebody is harassing you, you should understand the Avadut Brahman is telling. I'm honest with you, I don't have any realization of what I'm speaking because this Dattatreya is speaking and those are very high. The aggressors are acting helplessly under the control of God. Wow. Who made this similar statement? Can anyone guess? When somebody is giving you trouble, they are not the reason, but they're actually helplessly working under the control of
Haridas Thakur. Avanti Brahman.
Avanti Brahman. Avanti Brahman is the one who said that. So, and what is that? When we go through troubles, then what he's telling, Avadut Brahman is telling. They are not the reason. My mind, actually, Avanti Brahmana says my mind is the reason. But simple thing, Krishna is using them to get rid of our karma. When real understanding is actually, for whatever I've done, I should be crushed, but Krishna is giving only this much. And here, that in the purport, excuse me, purport, today earth is being, what is that? They do cracking, the bulldozers, they dig the earth. They do so many things, literally earth is dug to take the oil, that fuel, the lubricant fuel for earth to maintain, but still earth, it's so much pain. So he learned, from earth. What he did, he learned, my aggressors are I'm reaping the results, you know. My aggressors are only instrument, but they're acting helplessly under the control of God. Hare Krishna. One time, what is his name? Bhakti Vishnu Madhav Maharaj, a very exalted devotee of Tulsi Maharani. He went to Mumbai, where people would urinate literally. And there he saw a bunch of Tulsi plants. And he saw people literally continuously, that whole place is meant for urination only. And he went to the Tulsi plant and said, Mother, what is this, mother? I can't understand. Where people are literally, this place is so contaminated. And you're growing. Wow. Mother, I can't understand. You know, so the Maharaj said that actually, that year when he came to Michigan, when he came to Detroit actually. So second thing is, the second one from earth patience, understanding my aggressors are actually working. They're all instruments, but directly working from God. Actually, honestly speaking, I couldn't take it. When I started meditating on it, boy, it's too painful for me. Then he says, I'll from mountain, you know, a desire, mountain means um, devote, serve others, devote your life to serve others. Your goal of life is to just serve others. Wow. Mountain is meant for that. Mountain just stands in the heat. Start serving. Who is the king of mountains? Giriraj. Antaya Madhya Bala Haridasa Varya Taram Krishna Charana Swarsa Pramoda Manam Tanoti Sahago Ganayor Tayorias Sahago Ganayor Tayorias Pani Suya Sakandar Kandamulai. This verse was spoken by Radharani. Nardman is telling Radharani, Gopis are the pure devotees, topmost. And Gopis are telling, Radharani is telling, who is the topmost? Who is the topmost? Giriraj is the topmost. Haridasavarya. Because Antayamadriyabla Haridasavarya. He knows very well how to, I'm sorry. You know, so he's receiving the touch from the lotus feet of, from the lotus feet of Krishna and Balram. Tavarama Krishna, Charanasparsapam. So, there are waterfalls, and, he serves all the rest of the rasas, all the Rasika Bhaktas, the Shantarasas deeds, and all the plants, and, Kalpavrukshas, Kamadhenu cows, he serves them. He serves Krishna's friends in Dasyaras and Sakhyaras. And he serves Krishna's devotees in Vatsalyaras. And of course, it's a render, it's a place of meeting for Radha and Krishna and perform, so many pastimes. There are caves in the night, in the daytime, In the summer, it is very, very cool. In the winters, it's very hot, it's very warm. There are jewels and pearls, and there's so many flowers. There are nice caves. Krishna and the Krishna's friends can play very nicely. So, Giriraj is the topmost devotee. Antayamadribala Haridasavarya. Haridasavarya. Who are the two more Haridasavaryas? Maharaja, Yudhishthir, and Uddhav. Many times I thought actually Parakshit, but actually somebody said corrected me, it is Uddhav. So anyway, so what is that? So mountains, you get herbs. You get herbs and mm, the trees and the, what is that? Um, the mountain does so many things. It stops the wind and allows the rain to happen. Amazing. So the easiest way to get noticed by Krishna is serve others. Dedicate yourself to serve others. There used to be a devotee called Buddhimantakan in LA. So decided to, he was a number one the book distributor. One day, what he would do, he would chant his rounds, peanut butter and a little fruit, stand there, distribute. And one day he achieved it. The first man to hit 100 books he sold. 100 mark he touched. Then immediately went, I want to meet Prabhupada. The secretary said, Prabhupada said, nobody should. Prabhupada said, don't bring anybody inside. No, I want to see Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, nobody should come inside. And but out of his enthusiasm, he just passed that secretary and, went and saw. Prabhupada said, what do you want? Prabhupada, Prabhupada, I distributed 100 books, Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, thank you. The Prabhupada said, do you have anything here? I called the secretary, we have some prasad. Prabhupada wanted to reciprocate. That made Prabhupada very happy. Prabhupada had received 100 books. Direction. Amazing, right? So, so the desire to please Guru, Prabhupada, Actually, recently I came across this Prabhu Balimardhan Prabhu. Balimardhan Prabhu is actually temple president of Brooklyn Temple. Later Prabhupada told him to go to Japan. And Prabhupada, he said, Prabhupada said you should do. We don't know Krishna. We don't know anything. There was no Krishna book also that day, those days. But we know one thing. Prabhupada is telling we should do it. That's it. And he made a statement. Acharya comes. It's your fortune to be with Acharya. So you may not know you're dealing with Acharya. Putting faith and just doing is perfect. As I was speaking, uh, what is that? Uh, uh, actually, Krishna's service is a blessing. Guru and Krishna's service and offense are the curse. You know. So, what a personality was there that he's telling, my Lord, give me the suffering of, we cannot even fathom the mindset of Vasudeva. Give me the suffering of all the conditioned souls, not from this planet. He said all the universe. He said the universe. Wow, what a personality. And I'll go to hell eternally. Hare Krishna. Honestly speaking, there is every reason to take shelter of Chaitanya Charitamrita because of the devotees like this. I was speaking yesterday, about the Vipravasadeva. I was putting the insect back. You don't see that type of story anywhere. And you never come across a personality called Vasudeva Datta asking everyone, asking is not sorry, everyone. Lord Chaitanya, give me the suffering. Give me the karma of everyone back. I'll go to hell eternally. Wow. There are stories like Quraysh, that's amazing. But Vasudeva, story is like unparalleled. Nabhutana Bhavishyati. So, a little sense control of Ramananda Roy. We can never hear that type of things. Like humility of Sanatana Goswami, we cannot hear. So we have got, so the one of our biggest obstacles is actually envy. So we should pray intensely to become free from this. So rather than thinking of the negative qualities, we should think on the positives. Pray intensely. Is it easy to control the mind? You know, Krishna is telling, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the time actually. Krishna is telling, uh, Krishna is telling, sorry, not Krishna, Arjuna is telling to Krishna, I can control the cyclonic wind, I cannot control my mind. Who can control the mind? Mamamaya Duratya. So it took very long time for me to have this realization I told recently. Rather than chanting to control the mind, you meditate on the meaning of the mind. My Lord, engage me in your service, engage me in your service. And in between, you try to meditate on the meaning of the mind and chant. But if you try to chant to control your mind, it's like I mean, it's a difficult task. Come on, if you agree. Do you agree?
Yes, Prabhuji.
But then what did it pass 6, 7 months, Suddenly it happened from inside, let me focus on meaning of the mind. Then when you exhibit helplessness, express my Lord, I cannot. Honestly speaking, it's working, you know. Rather than being frustrated, it works. Or do whatever it takes to focus. That's another thing, of course. So uh, uh, so the second one is mountain, the third one is a tree. Interesting. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, from tree, he learns to dedicate, learn to serve others. Very interesting. Patience is taking more earth, but dedicated service to others. You know, uh, so like fruit actually, the tree has only one goal: serve others. That's it. You know. Uh, means what does it mean? Only difference, then you say, array, second one, mountain is also service, third one also service. What is the difference? Difference is, you know, mountain wants to serve, but nobody harms the mountain. But here, sometimes people cut the tree, sometimes people throw the stone to get the fruit, you know. That's why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had Taroryo Sashna, Taroryo Sashna. I know these are all very, very high, honestly speaking, But uh, and the next example is a sage should take satisfaction, just simple maintenance. If you find happiness through gratification of senses, then that's not easy. That's why actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knew very well we are conditioned souls. He introduced us prasad. There should be somewhere we can have to enjoy. There should be somewhere we have to enjoy. Devotee should enjoy prasad. And just follow Varnashram Dharma sincerely. And what is that? But keep your life simple. If your goal of life is outside our sense gratification, then when we don't satisfy our senses, we become angry, krodha. We satisfy our senses, then we become lobby, greed. Others are satisfied by their senses, become enemies. Altogether, if our satisfaction of senses going on, will increase ego, ahankara. Very difficult to become more free from this. So what should we do? Keep life simple and focus on bhakti. Very important. Keep life simple and focus on bhakti. You know. So what is that? How to keep our life simple? Minimize the desires. Serving the Guru should be desire. Only, serve Guru and Krishna, that should be the goal. As much as we can. Actually, I want to tell something interesting. One doctor told me, hey, you're not satisfied. Your mind is not satisfied. I said, what do you mean? No, somewhere you have to be satisfied. How can you say that? You know, you know, he told me, you try to whatever, be happy. I said, why are you telling me I'm not happy? No, you cannot take life as a austerity, you cannot pull it along. You know, so don't have fear. So bhakti, be natural. Said eat nicely, sleep nicely. If your mind is not satisfied, then it'll lead to some other disease. So really, very that's a revelation for me actually. You know. Anyway, recently I read something interesting in Uddhav Gita only. If you don't have regulated eating, sleeping, your mind will become weak. If you don't eat enough, your mind will become weak and you cannot control your mind. Mind will give you so much trouble. That's why people who are very weak, they cannot control their mind. A person eats a lot of Rajagun stuff, too rich foods, proper rights, proper disciples, right? I'm just reading, I just read yesterday, that's why it came to my mind, I'm repeating it. If it is prasad and if you take it as prasad, then there is absolutely all right, but there should be some satisfaction, somewhere you have to enjoy. But if it's too much of, that there it's written, then, you will be influenced with three modes. That's what is written. So don't worry, as long as you take prasad, up to your satisfaction, there's nothing wrong in it. So one should care, I'm reading next line. One should care the mental body in such a way that one's higher knowledge is not destroyed, so that one's speech and mind are not deviated from self-realization. So a learned sage should take his satisfaction in simple maintenance of his existence and should not seek satisfaction through gratification of mental senses. In other words, one should care for mental body in such a way that one's higher knowledge is not destroyed, so that one's speech and mind are not deviated from self-realization. You know? And the next one is wind. Even a transcendentalist is surrounded by innumerable metal objects which possess good and bad qualities. However, one who has transcended metal, good and evil should not become entangled even when in contact with metal objects. It should act like wind. For example, wind goes through toilets and brings all the bad odor. But wind is not affected by bad odor. Similarly, wind goes through, what is that? Nandana Kanana gardens. Nandanavanam of heavenly planets, or even Malay Maratham. It goes through Malaya hills, sandalwood, and brings nice aroma of chandan. Chandan smell and toilet smell, wind is not mixed with, though it carries. So likewise, you may be within the office, you may be hanging on with people. As long as you're not influenced by their as long as you're not inspired by them, then they will not influence you. If you're inspired by them, by seeing a TV who is away from other side of the planet, you are taking their association. So like wind, as long as the goal is clear, then you mix with good people or bad people. As long as you're not inspired by them, you're not taking their association. That's very important, actually. So no, what is that? Well, somehow this is what I want to say today. You know. Anyone has any question or comment? These are the few thoughts. The words is actually in our Varnashram system. That's why, these are a few things I just want to add. Any question or comment?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mudanutnam, Kanya Krishna Das. Prabhu, you said that Uddhava mentioned in Uddhav Gita about disciplining life is very important for spiritual progress. Where is that verse, Prabhu? I was trying to look for that verse.
Repeat again.
The Uddhava is telling in the Uddhav Gita to discipline the life, like sleeping habit, eating habit. I was looking for that verse.
Uddhava doesn't tell Prabhu, Krishna tells.
Oh, Krishna tells to Uddhava. Okay, okay. Okay.
This is actually now Uddhav Gita, Krishna is telling to Krishna is telling the story of Yadu's conversation with our Avadut Brahmana. That's where it is there.
Okay, okay. Why Krishna is emphasizing this story especially in what context?
Avadut Brahmana tells he learned 24, he learned his lessons and he became self-realized because of the 24 gurus.
Mm-hmm.
24 gurus, and he tells all the 24 gurus. Starting with the mountain,
Mm-hmm.
then tree,
Ocean,
ocean,
bee,
bee,
and yeah.
all the things, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bhagavad Gita is a little smaller than Bhagavad Gita, but it is also as big as Bhagavad Gita.
Mm-hmm.
That's where, story of Pingala comes. And Krishna speaks of Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and so all the things.
Oh, any tips on disciplining life? Because that is a big challenge actually. Sometimes, if some program we attend and we come home late, and next day we get impacted our routine, or work is more, then again it impacts the routine. So the getting a same routine discipline, how do we can you, could you give some tips, Prabhu?
Prabhuji, sleep early, rise early. That's the best thing. If you don't discipline, end of the day, it is our life. Um, actually, I don't want to use me as a bad example, but um, they told me if you don't have good sleep, sleep will affect your gut, means intestines. So actually, after 45, body goes into maintenance mode. 50 reconstruction is very slow. 50, 60 onwards. So in America, what is that? When there is no regulation, it's very difficult to control the mind, actually. So then, course, Krishna's grace is there, good karma is there, things will go forward. Otherwise, you'll be ground. It's not good to give so much burden to the body. Actually, no. One time, what is that? Bhaktidas Maharaj came to Sachitsuda Prabhu's home. And I don't know Sachitsuda was there in the Kalan, but and Sachitsuda said Maharaj wanted him to serve prasad at 1 o'clock in the airport. Maharaj went to airport. That time he said I should serve the prasad. Means he wanted to have prasad that time. That much strict he was. Prabhupada also, but of course Prabhupada is different. Prabhupada had good control on his mind. But if we do not, if we do not take care of ourselves, then what happens is regulation. We are not the body, but we are still living in the body, right? That's the thing. So it's simple. Sleep early. Actually, Gaurang Prabhu gave a class in New York. I attended that class. Somebody asked a question. He said, I'm a consultant from morning 8 o'clock to evening 8 o'clock. They said, what is that? I sleep at 8 and get, all my activities they finish. So, anything, because I'm not a consultant, I don't work in the metal world, he said. So have a good, regulation is important for, without regulation, difficult to control the mind. Forget when definitely if you have good karma will take care of the health, no doubt. Good karma will help us with the health, but we'll not be able to control the mind. That's what I get.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Right.
Hare Krishna.
Any other questions?
Very nice to see you after a long time.
Actually, no, I'm giving class on every Wednesday, Chaitanya Charitamrita,
Oh,
every Wednesday I'm giving class. But, so this is the first time I'm giving Saturday class, of course.
that
Right.
was.
Prabhuji, wanted to ask you about the doctor told you about your mind. I assume that's a devotee doctor and probably Ayurvedic doctor. About your mind is not satisfied or something like that. The doctor told you you mentioned something, right? I just wanted to find out is a devotee doctor and a Ayurvedic doctor, right?
That's a Bhagavatam class, Prabhu. I'm asking any question. I'm not healthy.
And why I wanted to point that out is because I wanted to know
Devotee
more.
doctor. Devotee.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, could you elaborate more that will help us, like how the mind is troubled by the other, like, is there any other thing that realizations you come
I really
about?
don't know why he said that. He said, eat nicely, शायद आप डर रहे हो इसलिए खा नहीं रहे हो, so you're not satisfied, somehow he told me that. I don't know, uh, somehow he brought it out. I don't know why he brought it out. What he is, he's a regular doctor actually.
Prabhu, that's true. Actually, you want to preach more and more, so not satisfied.
No. There is a verse, bro. Manaprasad Samyatvam verse is there in Bhagavad Gita. Mind has to be satisfied. These are the, what do you call, these are the, what is that? Exercise to the mind, austerity to the mind. 17th or 18th chapter Bhagavad Gita. Manaprasad Samyatvam. So being satisfied is the austerity to the mind. Actually, I used to think earlier, no matter what happens, we should be satisfied. But that's wrong. You have to be satisfied. Being satisfied is goodness. I mean, you may have drive to achieve things, but one has to be satisfied. One has to be satisfied. Satisfaction is mode of goodness. Being not satisfied is Rajoguna. Any question or comment?
Prabhu, thank you for clarifying this. I was thinking that when we satisfied, there are chances that we become lazy. अरे अभी तो सब कुछ हो गया ऐसा, ऐसा मुझे लगता था actually.
I
और
made
लगता है.
it that also. Thank you for bringing it up. Okay, that's why I made a point. Prabhuji, you should have a drive. Actually, I'll tell you. I'm sorry, I can quote any. I see all the gurus. You don't see anybody more driven than them, but they're very satisfied. You know why? At least they are driven on pleasing Prabhupada, no doubt. But the satisfaction means they accept what comes into their life. Jaypada Maharaj. Actually, before leaving, our Krishna Kumar Prabhu told me, I am not sick, my body is sick. My body is unhealthy, but I am fine, he said.
Yeah,
Prabhuji,
my
now
body is
Prabhuji,
not cooperating.
not
My body
cooperating.
is not cooperating. I am not sick.
Yeah,
I am
body is not
happy.
cooperating, I am not sick. Prabhuji, someone has to be, anyone goes through that, they'll be depressed. But he is able to he's been doing it for 18 years. So means what? He has full control of the mind, and his mind is still listening to whatever he says. So anyway, first thing is when you're in the mode of goodness, I'll tell you, if you're not satisfied, Prabhuji, you'll become envious. Suddenly somebody comes to your temple and sings nice civil. Next day he starts, you want to sing again. Somebody 2 days later, somebody gives nice class. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, you want to give Chaitanya Charitamrita class. Third day, somebody comes and that's a sign. Serious. That is a sign that you're very dissatisfied. You know. So that's why if you're satisfied, what you will do, you'll minimize your requirements. So did you, I don't know, did you hear this word, gone with the wind mentality? Gone with the wind mentality means one person comes to temple and says, Prabhu, I'm chanting 64 rounds. Immediately next day you try to chant 64 rounds. The next day another person says, Prabhu, I read 4 hours, 4 hours. And supposing he's very famous in the internet, I know, how did you attain? I know I've been reading 4 hours I read 4 hours. Oh, immediately you'll start reading 4 hours. That is a sign you're very dissatisfied with yourself. But if you're satisfied, you may have goals. You want to become a millionaire, that's fine. But you should be satisfied with yourself. Then you will not try to imitate everyone that you come across. What do you think? Agree?
Yeah, yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, so there is a in Hindi, there is a saying, Prabhu, about santosh or satisfaction. It says, Gaudhan, Gajdhan, Baji Dhana or Ratan Dhan Khan, Jab Avat Santosh Dhan, Sab Dhan Dhuri Saman. Meaning, you have santosh, all the other opulences that you see is like a dirt. You don't go after it because you are already, satisfied or Atmaram. It's somewhat like that.
2 days before coming to India, I went to my physical therapist. You know what he made? He made a famous statement. I remain unhappy, but I want to be wealthy. Rather, rather, I remain,
Happy and
happy and poor.
sad.
Uh, no, he wants to be unhappy, but show others he's happy by having all this Tesla car and green card, everything. So he wants to show others, but he doesn't know loneliness. He doesn't know, that eating of the mind, khalega mind. Actually, he doesn't know that. That's why he's telling like this. When mind gives trouble, then you say, "Look, I don't want anything. I don't even want a car. What I need is a mental peace." Anyway, I don't want to waste your time. Any question or comment?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam, Prabhuji.
About
So happy to hear you, Prabhuji.
Hare
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, please excuse me for this primitive question. When we say about 24 gurus, right, Prabhuji, usually the word guru is connected always with service. This is more of an inspiration, right, Prabhuji? Because when we say guru, there is always pariprashnena sevaya. Is there any significance? Why is he saying that I have 24 gurus, Prabhuji?
That 2 verses before that, Krishna, there it is said, you have to be your guru sometimes. That word is there, which is actually contradiction. So, but why it is not a contradiction? You have Diksha Guru. We can have n number of Siksha Gurus. Even if you have n number of Siksha Gurus and number of Diksha Gurus, Prabhuji, nobody comes and tells you minute to minute. Nobody comes. You have to be discriminative with sharpened intelligence. That way you're guru to yourself sometimes.
Yes.
This verse is there. Actually, this verse is there before Krishna starts this Yadu and Yadu and Avadut Brahmana thing. So, for example, even if you have 24 gurus, you will not make 24 phone calls in a day. Prabhuji, I have got a job in Boston, I have got a job in California, where should I go? Or right now I'm hungry, or at the same time I have got to toilet. You want me to go to toilet or you want me to eat now? So we cannot, yes or no? So, so one time somebody asked Prabhupada this. Prabhupada said, use your intelligence. So sharpened intelligence is actually our guru. You know?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So I mean, so we have to be sometimes our own guru. Experience. Sharpened intellect with the spiritual sadhana. We have gone through. Any other question or comment?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, I think the question was about what about the 24 gurus, how the reciprocation is happening from Avadut Brahmana with the mountain or because there has to be a relationship. I think that's what the
I meant
question.
about the seva part, Prabhuji, because the disciples.
Tadvidhi pranipatana pariprasthana sevaya, right? How
No, basically what he's trying to tell is acquire this knowledge. Acquire this knowledge, from them, so that is you, what is that? Acquire for the acquisition of knowledge. Prabhuji, that's why I said this is very rare case. Avadut Brahmana is actually Dattatreya. Dattatreya was born by Atri Muni by the blessings of, Brahma, Vishnu and Lord Shiva, So, he's basically, Sankhya and of course impersonal realization, of course, that's what so, but basically, on Tattva. Tattva means, what is that, so what is that? Jan Garam was telling something, What is it he's telling, bro? Something he said. I don't know what he said, but anyway. Anyway, what is that? Definitely, by on Avadut Brahman of his category, caliber, he serves we all serve. When you wake up in the morning, you offer obeisance to the Mother Earth. So you see Krishna and everyone you serve. You offer obeisances. That itself is, gratitude. That is service, actually.
Yes,
That's all I can tell.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Any other question? Otherwise, we'll end it.
Prabhuji, this is Sri Gopal Das. Then Pranam, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, just wanted to ask about if that's okay to talk about your health, Prabhuji. How's it going?
Yeah, I can actually know what is that. Definitely, I've improved.
Jai.
I have improved for sure.
Hari Bol.
What is that? I went to Hyderabad. My brother came and he was very concerned, and he asked me to come to Hyderabad, and I went. They did endoscopy again for me, and I think my spiritual master's prayers and Ayuran's prayers. He said, I think my gastritis is gone.
Jai.
It's gone. I think he said it's gone, but they said you have a swallowing problem. That one more thing, and they told me to use for 3 to 4 weeks. Actually, I'll tell you, the urine will be really surprisingly happy. He said you're unnecessarily worried. There is nothing here. I said, look, and I took another endoscopy paper and showed him. You're thinking, no, I'm not a fool, number one. I'm old. He said, this is the report 1 week ago, and you're telling this. So I think, really prayers worked. And but one thing is, still swallowing difficulty. Another problem, I have sleeping problem. I cannot sleep. Something, I don't know, maybe because of antibiotics. When I came to India, I was sleeping actually. But now I'm taking, they're giving me sleeping pills. I'm sleeping with sleeping pills. So today one devotee told me, no, don't do that. Go to, somebody and how you can sleep naturally, not the sleeping pills, and that's not good, then you'll be addicted. That's not good. So, but for the swallowing difficulty and some devotees have these hiccups. Hiccups also have reduced. But swallowing difficulty, remember Kadam Karam have seen me many times, having swallowing difficulty. That is there. I mean, it's there for probably 1 2 years now. It doesn't go overnight, of course, I know that. They said utilize the tablets for 3 months, and they said it'll go. If not, I'll do the procedure, he said. Then I came to Bhaktivedanta again, they said no procedure, and it'll be all with the tablets, they said. But somehow, I mean, I want to tell this, because my spine problem, this problem, I I lost my, actually, weakness, inner strength. I lost my inner strength, actually. There's a truth. I don't want to tell this, but I am telling. I have lost my, I don't have strong physical strength and mental inner strength. First time it happened, but I'm recovering. I'm keeping myself busy, but to make just I'm very grateful to all of you, because he said, "I are unnecessarily worried, Prabhu. I'm not worried." And this is the report before last week. And the doctor, so but they said they want to do a procedure. This is a mild procedure, and you will have, you will even that swallowing difficulty will go away, he said, so that's what I can tell.
Prabhuji, the sleeping pills are allopathy sleeping pills?
Yeah, Ayurvedic sleeping pills are not making me sleep, Prabhu, actually. These are actually Ayurvedic doctor said sleep, with Ayurvedic, but I think because so many pills, it's I have problem sleeping. Actually, I'm sleeping, but mind is awake. That is the problem. Then yesterday I stopped Ayurvedic, and I took sleeping English medicine, but I slept. But well, actually, doctor said don't worry, but sleep nicely. So that is the thing. And
Prabhuji, did you try hot milk, just hot milk?
they told me not to take hot milk. Too. I have
Okay,
acidic.
okay, got it. Sorry.
And Prabhuji, the medicine that you are talking about, sleeping pills, allopathic, there are many which are, I'm sure you know, and doctors ne bola hi hoga. There are some which are non-habit forming. So, वैसा भी होगा, Prabhuji. So don't have to. I mean, what I'm saying is, Prabhuji, please take care of those things. In the sense, get nice sleep. Habit वगैरह बाद में देख सकते हैं, like that. But पहले आप, your body needs rest, as doctor said. So.
Yeah, because if I am awake all night, then my mind starts taking me in 10 directions. I think sleep is better.
Yeah.
Ravi, are you still in Hyderabad or Hare Dandat Pranam?
Dandat. I'm in GEV.
GEV, okay.
Actually, no, I'm feeling good here. Somehow my body is not. I'm liking it here. Indrivan Maharaj was here and he left. I think he's still there, or maybe left yesterday, I think.
Yeah, there are programs, yes. Yeah.
Anything else? Otherwise, we'll end it here.
We're very grateful for your time, Prabhuji, and please take care, Prabhuji. We're all praying.
Yeah, continue pray for me, because what is it that that is both the physical strength is a little bit coming, but inner strength. Because 2 3 areas problem came, right? That's when I don't. Anything else? Otherwise, we'll end it.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandat Pranam, Prabhu.
Wonderful.
Prabhu, so nice to see you and hear you, Prabhuji. One question, Prabhuji. You said we hear knowledge is there, but the drive has to come from inside. You said something like that. Can you please elaborate, Prabhuji?
Knowledge is there. What has to come from in?
You said drive. The drive should come from inside. If I remember, Prabhu, I may not remember exact words you spoke, Prabhuji.
Realization.
Realization. Okay.
Actually, the realization has to be given by Paramatma. That's based on spiritual master's grace. Spiritual master or Paramatma, suppose spiritual master.
It's a implementation. Implementation has to come within. To implement.
Basically, You will implement only when it becomes realization true. Even of course, even if jnana also, jnana, you should have a strong desire to implement first of all. If not, it'll just will remain theoretical.
Mm.
Theoretical, even if you don't apply, you'll forget eventually.
Prabhuji.
Or it'll remain theory even if you don't forget. Like, we are not the body of spirit soul. How many of us know? And still we think we are this body, right? It's not easy actually. For Prabhupada it is easy. Not for us. Difficult.
Prabhuji.
Any other question or comment?
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Please take rest, Prabhuji.
Okay, then we will meet here.